Very good morning, good afternoon or good evening and welcome to another wonderful something for the weekend. Almost forgot the words in. I've been away for a few weeks. Yes, I've been out of the UK, which is why I'm slightly brown. I have been washing since you last saw me and that's my excuse. Now, to start the video today, we have this fine young man, 14-year-old Milash. Hello Milash.
Hello.
Have you got your call sign yet?
Oh yes.
Tell him.
So Mike 7 Kilo India Charlie.
There you go, Mike 7 India Kilo Charlie. Milash came into our store a week ago and met with his mum, who's standing behind you, and introduced himself. Mark, one of our employees, showed him around the store. And in fact, Milash told me earlier that he's actually got another friend in school who's about the same age as you.
Oh yeah.
Who's also got his call sign. So I don't know what's happening in Slough these days, but send the youngsters to us, because there's one thing that we love to do is encourage new blood into amateur radio. And I just showed Milash when I was 12 years old and 13 years old when I first started, and a picture of me with all my RTTY gear in my dad's shed when I was 16. Anyway, enough of me. So how did you get into amateur radio then? What did you first have? You had a little Baofeng, was it?
Yes, yeah, so I started last year, or 2023.
Yeah.
About May when I got a Baofeng radio.
You were listening to the radio amateurs?
Yeah, and then it started from there.
Good. Good. So is there any particular, I mean, if you've only had a handheld, as you know, there's an awful lot in amateur radio. There's so much you can do, and that's what's kept me going for all these years. So you're only just scratching at the surface with a handheld, which is one reason we're going to give you something today, which you weren't expecting. Was he expecting anything? He wasn't. Okay. So when I was younger, not as young as you, but when I was that young with hair, it's not quite so black now. This gentleman here was a senior director from Kenwood Electronics in Japan. He came over and he presented me with a Dealer of the Year award. And he also came over with a 25-year-old designer who is the main designer for this piece of Kenwood Electronics radio. And this is a TS-50 for those of you who know what it is. It's a complete HF 160 metre to 10 metre 100-watt transceiver in this little box. And nothing was this small. It was a complete revolution. And we're going to give it to you.
Oh,
like that. Just like that. And we're not even going to charge you for it, which is most unlike me. And in fact, it's even got it's true, isn't it? It's true. It's even got the manual, the microphone and the power lead. So that's all yours. Let's put it down there. So that's going to help you, isn't it?
Oh yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with that. I hope you enjoy your hobby in amateur radio as much as I have. And I hope you'll come into the store, and maybe in a year or so, maybe you want a Saturday job, Mum. And he, come in, Mum. Come over here. So this is his mum. It's all her fault that he's here. Thank you very, very much for bringing your son along. And maybe when he's a little bit older, if he wants a Saturday job to keep his interest going, he can come and see us, and we will teach him how to look after customers, which is why we're still here 34 years later. Thank you very much for coming in. And now I'm going to get on with the second-hand gear. So let's whiz over and start going through all that. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Milash and his lovely mum, for coming to the Superstore in Staines. That's what we're going to call it, Superstore in Staines. Isn't it nice to see 14-year-olds still coming into the hobby? And that's really what all of us as radio amateurs, new and used, very used at my age, we've got to encourage more youngsters. It's always been an older person's hobby, and when we see young chaps like Milash come into us, we all look at them and help the guys and ladies. So I hope he's going to stick with the hobby for a long time, and maybe we'll see him serving customers or in the workshop or whatever, helping Henry do videos. So thank you for both of you coming in again today. And enjoy your new TS-50 or your old TS-50 Kenwood. Tony did a very, very good video on Icom kit last week and went into great detail on the entire model range, which I think we're probably one of the only stores in the country to actually have every single product of theirs on display and wired up and working. And it's still here, so we didn't just all set it up for Tony's intro. it's permanently on display, as indeed all the other brands. Yaesu, of course, in particular, are there with all their model range, and Kenwood. So do pop along into the store. We'll sit down with an Icom, get a cup of coffee or tea or hot chocolate from one of our guys, and they'll make you very welcome. On to used, because I know you all like used. Baby loops, don't get these in very often used. Gary has run through this, make sure it's all operating and working properly, and we actually have one. So if you want to save yourself a lot of money for a 40 metre to 10 metre loop, the baby loop is available used at just under £1,000, so that's a massive saving off new price. We prefer you collected it though, because you're going to pay £60–70 to get it delivered, because they are pretty heavy and also very bulky. So that's a big saving. If you live local within travelling distance, come down and pick that up, and you'll have that for many, many years. More second-hand gear. Where do we start? Crikey, here's an old banger, an FT-757AT. If you happen to have a Yaesu FT-757 GX in your shack and you want the matching tuner, there it is at £145. I was selling those in the early 80s, the Burning Brenda, and even selling them in my own little shop in 1990. Got to use one. FT-2000 from Yaesu, beautifully made. I haven't made them for years and years now. I used one at $899. That seems a very, very good deal. And indeed, even better deal at $799. So Tony's been slashing the prices once again for you. A particular favourite of mine, and I know Tony mentioned this last week in the Icom video, and that's the IC-7100. And the reason it's a bit of a hidden gem, I think he referred to it as, is that it is a complete HF 4 metre, 6 metre, 2 metre, 70 sem and D star, all band, all mode transceiver. That's all you have sitting on your desk, in your shack. It comes with the remote lead to the main unit, which is there, and that gives you 100 watts output and all the bands bar 2 and 70, of course, and 4 meters. So the IC-7100 at $899, so that's quite, again, a big saving over new. And really is unique. I wish Kenwood and Yaesu would give them a bit of competition, to be frank with you, because like Yaesu with their FT-818, they had it all to themselves when that was out. Icom have absolutely got this away altogether. There's nothing that competes with this from the other brands. So 10 out of 10 for Icom. Love you, Icom. AnyTone 80D578UV plus. Blimey, there's a number and a half. One of those used at £249. And the matte tuners, the 1500 watt, 1.5 kilowatt auto tuner, 350 quid. That's a saving of £150 off list. Sitting next to a very, very good seller of ours, the FT-991, or good seller of Yaesu, should I say, in lovely condition. Yeah, that's in great nick. With the how to improve your resale value. Make sure anything we supply, if it doesn't arrive with one of them on it, ring us up and have a go at us, because it should have the famous Martin Lynch & Sons sticker, not some cheap old sticker either. So that's there. Moving along, FT-950, 799. If you want to buy that, ring up and say Martin said free carriage, UK mainland. If that one's gone, never fear, because there's another one here, also at 799, and again, free carriage on that one. Comes with the mic, power lead, handbook, etc. The little MP-30SWs, Mark 4s, 69 quid, 20-30 amp power supply, nice digital display, 2 low current outputs on the front and higher ones on the back, and they really are neat, these. I remember when I first came across them and I thought we're going to sell thousands of them, and I'm right, because we still do. I don't know where all of you put all the power supplies I've been selling you for the last 34 years, but you must have cupboardfuls of them. What else have we got? FT-920. Told you about that when I was wandering around the Yaesu factory donkeys years ago and saw this in the corner. They whisked me away because I shouldn't have been looking at it. It's basically an FT-840 in a bigger box. If you take the lid off, The main PCB is only about that big, but that's nice and easy to use. 649. Give the guys a call. They're not 50 quid off that for you. So if you're interested in that, ring them and you'll get £49 off, making it 600 quid. So, but you've got to call us because you won't be able to do that on the web. Other joys we have, FT-897Ds at 625, the sort of ruggedized machine from Yaesu, sitting between a pair of TS-590s, one the 590SG, still a current model from Kenwood, and a TS-590S, quite a bit less money for 950. This has also got the speech board fitted, the VGS one. Moving along, very rarely see these used, an IC-705. You know what this is because Tony banged on about it last week, and sure enough, 1,049. So you're saving yourself 300 or 400 quid off the new price. And I tell you now, wow, is that in lovely condition? That really is. Yeah, like that. It's nice. All band, everything in your hand. Bit like the 7100 I showed you earlier, but portable. With a great big display on it too, and a lot more up to date. IC-703s, 10 watt QRP version of the IC-706. There's a radio that made Icom an absolute fortune, and indeed us, because we sold thousands of them, literally. 703, 10 watts, 549 quid. I do believe you can grab that for 499, again, if you call. So if you want to save yourself 50 quid, give the guys a call on the 703 and say Martin said, or the Guv'nor said. IC-910HX with a 23 SEM module. These were extremely popular. So you got two 70 and 23 in one box for 1,044. And incidentally, I think I whizzed past, yeah, an IC-9700. This is what replaced that one, 1425. And of course, this comes with 23 standard. So if you're looking for an ultimate performance 270 SEMS multi-mode, that's the one you want to look at. Another favourite of mine, it wasn't when it first came out because Kenwood made a bit of a boo-boo and the operation on 1840 was pretty poor, criticised by Peter Hart when he reviewed it. He liked the radio, but the performance was wanting, shall we say. And I had about 30 of them in stock. And I thought, oh, thanks, Peter, that stopped the sales dead. We're talking about 20 years ago, maybe 25, can't remember. It stopped it dead. What we didn't know was Kenwood went away and redesigned that part of the wireless and absolutely sorted it perfectly, but didn't tell anyone. I think I read about it somewhere in the States, and I went back to Kenwood in the UK and said, is this true? Oh yeah, it is. I said, well, nice of you to tell us. Anyway, we had all the lot modified, and they went, and they are still a nice machine today. The first proper DSP radio from Kenwood at 599 quid. HF-AUTO from Palstar. Palstar really all by themselves. There's nobody to compete with Palstar for tuners, manual or otherwise. 1,599 quid. And the CG-3000 wire antenna tuner above here at 199. This really design helped bury SGC. I think SGC is still going, maybe in the States. Apologies if you are, but they used to do a wire antenna tuner that looks suspiciously like this, or rather this looks suspiciously like that. That was like 500-600 quid. I think it went up to 800 quid or some amazing amount of money, and they came out and made a much cheaper version of it, and we still sell them new today, so big saving on you. Another 7100 at only 899 quid. I think I'll take that home with me actually, because I'm looking for a nice little compact machine at home. Lots of others, 991s, 991As, 590s, FTDX1200s, nice base station from Yaesu. If you don't like small fiddly wirelesses, nice one at 699. FTDX10, current machine from Yaesu. I've gone on about these. It's been our best-selling HF rig from Yaesu for ages. Next to the FT-710, which we haven't got any second-hand ones, which is surprising. We normally have the old one. There's another 910HX there for 925, FT-891, They're catching me out, the lads, because I've actually started moving stuff to a new area. Oh, just mention this one, TS-890S. Now the 890S is one thing that's gone with this over the years, and that's the price. It's gone up and up and up and up, and it's very up at the moment, and it will probably continue to do so. Got a mint one, and that is absolutely, looks like it's new, for only 3,400. I say only. 3,400 is a lot of money, but there is a used one at 3,400 quid. And we've got the latest from Kodar, a Kodar AT5. No, we haven't. That's 40, 50 years old, that is. And somebody's done a lovely job of painting it all up, making it look beautiful. But lovely. G3 KDL from Wembley. Used to use one of those. Told you about that before. So what they've done is they've moved a load of kit over here, because these two panels, display cases, used to sit where 40 fines are. And I thought, where are we going to put, God knows how many pounds these blooming display cases cost me. And they were going to, oh, we don't know where we're going to put them. I said, well, stack them on top of each other and screw them up the wall. It's a bit mad, but we've got lots of used equipment here, including, for those of you that missed the FT-818, look what we've got. A used FT-818. That's absolutely like new. And somebody's even put the little rubber feet on it. I do like these, and this is a bit of history. Seriously, with Yaesu, you've got all bands from top band to 77s in your hand for £599. It is good, isn't it? You must admit. And the 818 was the last designation, so they beefed the output power. They put the filters in the stand and a few other bits and pieces. If I could get another 200 or 300 of them, I would do, because they go like that. So save yourself, I think, about 150 quid off what we were selling them new at 599. Lots of other bits, and I've even noticed a Mizuho. Crikey. Oh, is that the 2-metre SSB transceiver up there? I think it is. Is it? Yeah, TR-2100. God, I can't even remember the last time I saw one of those. It could be a bit of a giant. I don't think it's for sale. I think it's in the museum. But another 818 there. Look at 675. That must be absolutely like new. It's probably one of the very last ones. So other bits and pieces, 817s, 499. The LDG tuners, Z817s, only really been superseded now by Mac tuners. When Mac came out, they really blew LDG out of the water. Very beautifully engineered Chinese tuners, where indeed, of course, all the LDG ones are built. Other bits and pieces, more 817s, of course, like 817 City here. A range of Morse keys, as you can see, MyDel paddle keys, a Marconi straight key, who remembers those? You see those at the rallies all the time. 40 fines, got some interesting jobbies in 40 fines, including, who remembers these in the early 80s? The Nagai 2-metre linear. Now this is a 40 fine, which means you come along to the store, you give me some money, you can test it whilst you're here if you wish, and you take it away. If it goes bang in a week's time or a few days' time, you've bought it for scrap. However, we've tested this fully, and this is producing nearly 400 watts output, SSB and CW, on 2 meters. Uses a single 4CX350 in the PA, and I remember lusting after these when I worked for ARE, Amateur Radio Exchange. 300 quid with its built-in power supply. You've got to remember how to plate and load. So if you don't know, we'll show you, because it isn't difficult at all. It's a good nick. If it was mine, I'd take the cover off and paint it. I'd put some decent screws in it. The front panel is in perfect. This is all anodized and etched aluminium here. The outside is perfect. That is a mess. So I'll take the top and bottom covers off, paint it up, and you've got a beautiful piece of kit for 300 quid. It costs you nearly that for a power supply to power a solid state linear on 2 meters for 400 watts. 300 quid for that, but you've got to come to the store. We won't mail order it. Another relic from the past is the old Dentron MLA 2500B. When I was a member of the Ealing Radio Club, G3 UUP was their call sign, and we used to run these on RITI because they were so over-engineered. I mean, it's very heavy. There's a great big transformer in there. pair of tubes, which are very difficult, if not impossible to get hold of. This is putting out over 1,000 watts, 350 quid. Again, it's 40 fines. You come here, test it, we'll put it on the meter for you. You can see it working, have a fiddle if you want it, take it away, we won't mail order it. 40 fines continues to carry on. It's absolutely pretty well stacked at the moment. I've seen more kit here, I guess, but customers definitely like it. And we've also, if you're into valves, Rod Berman on the Isle of Wight used to buy all my valves. Unfortunately, he's gone now. But if I would have had all this lot, he would have had these off me like that. I don't know what happened to his collection. He must have been bought out. But there's some really, really old ones here. And look at this. TT-15s. Who remembers? I remember TT-15s. Look at this. Look at that. Somebody's got a piece of equipment at home that's gagging for one of them, or a pair of them even. Look at that. 20 quid. It's probably worth a lot of money, but it is certainly worth some money to the right person. Even the box, with the old Art Deco design of the box. So lots of valves here. Come and have a gander through these. Boxes and boxes of them. Take a whole load away and make us an offer. We'll do a special deal on all of them. Lastly, TH-75. A rather humongous batch of these turned up 2 weeks ago, was it? 2 weeks ago? And they came in, they really didn't touch the size and they all went out. The price is £789, so they're not the cheapest wireless on the block, but typical Kenwood, over-engineered, audio sounds great, D-Star, nice solid looking machine. I like the styling, it's quite utilitarian really. Next batch is available in 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, and we have got a few left over where people were trying to do a trade-in and asking silly money. So if you actually want to grab one of these now, give us a call and you might be one of the lucky few. Otherwise, there's another large batch coming in at the end of February, I think it is. And next week, I think it's Tony, or one of them, is going to go through that in detail. So tune in for that, that'll be interesting. Nice to see Kenwood still producing ham radio equipment, despite what some of the competition have put out over the last few years. So there's the first. Wait for another one that isn't that far away. I think that's it really. We're still after used equipment. We're still after a good bench engineer. So if you know somebody, or you are that person that wants a new job in 2024 working in our air-conditioned superb workshop here in Staines, just a short walk from Waterloo line, Staines railway station, please give us a call or send your CV into recruitment@hamradio.co.uk or jobs. It always gets to us. Or give us a call and just pop in and say hello and say, I'm interested in a job in the workshop, either full or part-time. Always after good sales guys as well, ladies and gentlemen, full or part-time. So if you want a new career in amateur radio, come and see the main guys. That's us. Thank you very much for tuning in. All the best to you and see you next week. Bye-bye. I just remembered, if you see something online or get offered a price and you compare it with ours and you think, oh, Lynch is so good, but it's a little bit more money, give us a call, because there's all sorts of weird deals being bandied about, as always. Somebody rang up the other day and said, look, I want to buy this. I always use you, but we can do that. We'll look at the price. Yeah, we've got the margin in it and we'll match it. So if you see something online that maybe have some sort of weird spangled offer on it, before you press the button, give Tony or any of our sales guys a ring and say, look, Martin told me to give you a call. This is what I want to pay. This is what I can do. Will you do it? And you know I'll always want to do a deal with everybody and anybody. As long as there's money left in it for me, my guys, and you're happy as well, you'll be going home with a new piece of kit. I'm going now. Promise. Ta-ra.